So today I'll be reviewing Boruto Chapter 54, Bro. This chapter was amazing from start to finish. I loved everything from Sasuke and Kawaki fighting Borushiki to Kawaki making the ultimate sacrifice for his brother Boruto. And even though it ended with a cliffhanger, I still feel satisfied, especially since I don't think Naruto is actually dead, which I'll talk more about later. So to start from the beginning, the chapter is called Bro and has this nice color cover page, which I really enjoy. It has Boruto with a blue and gold version of his jacket. I hope we get one of these with Sarada and maybe Mitsuki. I think Sasuke is overdue for one too. But that aside, the chapter starts off with Momoshiki letting us know that he actually targeted Sasuke's Rinnegan on purpose, which was probably predictable since Momoshiki has always feared Sasuke because of his Rinnegan. This goes back to the Boruto movie. And he does this so that they can't leave. We also find out that while Momoshiki is taking over Boruto, he has special healing properties according to Sasuke. And after that, we see Kawaki reflecting on his promise to Boruto about getting rid of karma, and already we can see Kishimoto's influence with the flashbacks. I don't know how other people feel about the flashbacks, but I actually enjoy them because it kind of puts you in the moment and makes you reflect on what the characters are actually thinking about. After that, we get the confirmation from Momoshiki that Ishiki's soul has been completely extinguished from Kawaki. I'm guessing that means Ishiki is officially gone. I know we saw that one panel with Ishiki having his Byakugan activated, and Kawaki did stomp on him with his original body and not a shadow clone, so maybe, I was thinking maybe last chapter that's when he places the Karma Seal on him, since we know in the future he ends up with Karma again. But Momoshiki seems to deconfirm that in this chapter, although we didn't see Momoshiki looking at Kawaki with the Byakugan activated when he said that, so maybe Momoshiki is just assuming that Ishiki is gone too. So Kawaki gets tired of hearing Momoshiki talk, so he then just decides to attack him, and it kind of caught me completely off guard because I forgot about Kawaki's other power that he has aside from the karma. And I've seen some people say that he shouldn't have this power if they or they're confused as to how he has it. He has this power because this is what Amato placed inside of him to make Kawaki the perfect vessel. This is what makes Kawaki the perfect vessel. This is also why Momoshiki says that Kawaki is 80% complete. So as they're fighting, Kawaki gets stabbed in the back by Borushiki, and then Sasuke comes out of nowhere and sends him straight flying. And Momoshiki acts as if he's really going to kill his student and get that flashback of Sasuke, Kishimoto in style, with the flashback. And he says that he'll kill Boruto if he has to. So after that, Momoshiki tells Kawaki that he's 80% complete just like Boruto, and one thing to take note of is that Kawaki has taken a longer time to reach this point than Boruto, is what I'm thinking, because if you think about how long Jigen has had Kawaki and how long Boruto has been inside Momoshiki, there is a huge gap since Momoshiki has only been inside Boruto for a year and is 80% complete, and Kawaki has been with Jigen doing this karma process since he was a kid. So I'm wondering if because they've resonated their karmas a couple of times now, that maybe that's the reason they've reached 80% completion. Or maybe Boruto has reached 80% completion because he strongly inherited the Otsutsuki powers. I'll probably reread some previous chapters and then make a follow-up video on that. Anyways, after that, Momoshiki says that he plans on finding the 10 tails and feeding it to Kawaki so that he can harvest a small divine tree. Just like what Ishiki is going to do, that seems to be the one mission of the Otsutsuki clan. Just harvest fruit from another plant and then eat it for themselves. But we don't really know what happens after that, and I'm pretty interested in finding out if we'll learn that now, before time skip, or after time skip. But I guess our only source of information would be in Otsutsuki, but they're all kind of gone right now. So after hearing that, Kawaki says that he's tired of being used like an object, and that pisses him off. And while this is happening, we see Naruto slowly fall down and say that his body feels like lead and this isn't good. Then he falls to the ground and passes out. And for one thing, I don't think Naruto is dead at all, because those wouldn't be his final words. They definitely would have used the entire chapter to build up to this moment, if it was Naruto's death. And Kawaki is the first one to take notice of this happening, but Sasuke says that we have to stay focused. Sasuke also notices that Momoshiki isn't absorbing any ninjutsu, and that he's using shadow clones as a shield. So Sasuke comes up with a plan that involves restoring Boruto's chakra to get him to awaken in his own body again. Since they kinda need him to return to himself if they want to return to the village, seeing as Sasuke doesn't have his Rinnegan anymore. And to me, when I first heard this, I thought it was a risky move because worst case scenario, Momoshiki gets stronger and is able to fight back, and Sasuke with his 2% chakra isn't going to be able to do anything, especially since Naruto's out. But Momoshiki confirms Sasuke's plan will work and says that he won't get away unharmed if he tries to face Sasuke head on. And as Sasuke and Kawaki are planning, Sasuke gets hit with one of Borushiki's vanishing Rasengans, and Kawaki gets sent flying after a kick. Then Kawaki starts remembering everything he's been through with Boruto and says that he's been a pain since the moment they met. And then he sets himself on fire so that Momoshiki can't teleport him away and is forced to absorb the fire. And because of this, we start to see Boruto slowly awaken and take his body back. And that's when Momoshiki tries to teleport Kawaki but can't. And Boruto says that's enough and then breaks the horn off and then falls to the ground next to Kawaki and says sorry to be trouble. And Kawaki says back at you, stupid bro. And I like how they have that moment right before the chapter ends. When I was reading it initially, I thought this was the end of the chapter. The only thing missing was that it didn't say when the next chapter date would come out. And then I click and there's another page, and it's Sasuke having his moment with Naruto, except Naruto is passed out, and we see Sasuke saying what the, and then no way, and that's where the chapter ends. And of course, the chapter ends on a cliffhanger. That last page could have easily been the first page of the next chapter, but no, we had to have a cliffhanger. This chapter was great nonetheless, but the first thing I want to talk about regarding this chapter is the ending. So, the first thing I want to get out of the way and say is that I don't think Naruto is dead. I think Sasuke probably just notices that Naruto's chakra is close to and near zero, or that the Nine Tails is gone, since that was one of the risks involved with using the Baryon mode. Also, now that we're at the end of the arc with probably only 2 or 3 episodes left, or 2 or 3 chapters left, including the post-arc, I can say confidently that they're probably not killing Naruto or Sasuke, at least not in this arc for now. I think they've been safe since Ishiki is dead, especially since I think Kishimoto wasn't going to use Momoshiki, someone weaker than Naruto and Sasuke, to kill them. Plus, I think if Naruto is going to die, it isn't going to be in another dimension. It'll be similar to what we saw in the movie with Naruto protecting the entire village. Naruto dying in this arc would have been symbolic in a way, since he would have died as a father, which was something he was somewhat struggling to be, as early on in the series we saw that he wasn't getting along with Boruto, and by the movie arc that was resolved, and after that we saw him adopt Kawaki as his son. But I still think fans would have been upset with that kind of an ending. But I do think if Naruto dies as doing his dream as a Hokage while protecting his sons and the village, not only will it have a greater impact, I think fans will be able to accept that too. Another thing I want to talk about is Naruto and Sasuke in general. I don't think Naruto and Sasuke will be the same after this arc. Sasuke for one has lost his Rinnegan and didn't restore it using Izanagi like many people thought he would. So he's officially weaker now, and Naruto is about to either lose the Nine Tails or have his life shortened, so both of them will be weaker than they were a year ago when they fought Momoshiki. And this actually does 2 things that may be to the benefit of the series. One, it raises the stakes, since Naruto and Sasuke aren't going to be able to easily go through people like they've done previously, like Momoshiki. And 2, it definitely makes it possible for Boruto and Sarada to one day surpass them as they are right now. Boruto is already more skilled than Naruto was at this age and will be in the future. And with Karma, he has a power boost, and Sarada previously had no way to reach the Rinnegan to surpass or equal Sasuke. But now she just has to equal Sasuke, who Sasuke is now with just 1 Sharingan, which is definitely achievable. Even if she has lower chakra reserves, she does have better chakra control. But let's go back to my favorite part of the chapter. Let's talk about Kawaki. There is no doubt that he'll do anything to protect Naruto and his family, since now we've probably seen him protect everybody that we need to confirm that he's officially part of Naruto's family. First he gave up his arm for Himawari, then he gave himself up for Naruto, and in this chapter he set himself on fire for Boruto. There is no question or blurred lines, he's officially a part of Naruto's family, blood related or not. And it feels like with every chapter of Boruto, it becomes extremely difficult to believe that he actually betrays Naruto in the village. Like, because if I didn't see chapter 1 and you told me that, I wouldn't buy it at all as of right now. I'm also not buying that Boruto goes rogue either. Maybe he leaves the village because he doesn't want to cause trouble with Momoshiki, who could possibly emerge whenever his chakra reserves get low. And maybe this leads to the journey with Boruto and Sasuke, like we saw with Naruto and Jiraiya. But with that being said, let me know what you think is going to happen in the future of the series and in the next chapter. I think in the next chapter, they'll have Boruto's chakra reserves restored so that they can go back home, and they'll take Naruto back to get healed by Sakura. And hopefully Amato hasn't tried to betray us or anything, because I still don't think he's 100% trustworthy. Plus, since he saw Kawaki leave, he's probably assuming that we lost, so he might just go ahead and betray us like he did with Ishiki slash Jigen. There's also the question of what Code and the rest of Kara will do now. Either way, I think we have about 2 or 3 chapters until the time skip happens. But with all that being said, let me know what you thought of this chapter in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and bye.